7 minutes to 5. Would you look at the time? Really? Okay. Let's go to the movie, shall we? James Luxford poised there with paper in hand. I wonder what you're about to do there, James. I thought you were about to launch at me something there with it. But
just reminding myself what I'm about to say.
Just the notes.
Yeah.
Okay, these things are prepared, ladies and gentlemen. James Luxford reviews movies for the Radio Times, for the Metro newspaper, and on a Thursday afternoon at 10 to 5 for us on BBC Coventry and Warwickshire. And the big event of the week, James, we've all been waiting for it, Downton Abbey. What do you think?
Yes, the movie version of the TV series, which sees the staff and residents prepare for the arrival of the King and Queen.
I want every surface to gleam and sparkle.
A royal luncheon, a parade, and a dinner. I'm going to have to sit down.
How's it all going?
Mary's got it under control.
Hardly.
I went to, I was at the cinema a few weeks ago. We were talking about when I went to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and obviously they were showing the trailer for that. Mm-hmm. And my perception just from the trailer was it's a lot of people doing a lot of cleaning. Right? Is it a bit more than that?
Well, to be honest, with these movies, with the direct from the TV show movies, In-Betweeners, the Simpsons movies, it's just a chance to see everyone again. So your enjoyment of this is very much going to depend on whether you enjoyed the series. I wasn't a huge follower of it. Saw a few episodes, really sort of understood what it was about. But it's all a bit cozy. It's very sedate. Nothing really too strenuous happens, but
it's written by Julian Fellows.
And everyone kind of gets brought back. The characters that have left have kind of brought in because the arrival of royalty is sort of used as a catch-all excuse. They're back because royalty, and I think, to be honest, they are playing to a captive audience. So you're not going to see this if you didn't like Downton Abbey, the TV series, or if you didn't see it. So if you do like this, it is more of the same. You are meeting characters you loved again. For me, as a work of cinema taken on its own, I found it a little slow, but perhaps, as I said, I'm not an avid follower, so maybe this just wasn't for me.
Hugh Bonneville's back, isn't he, in this? As you say, some of the regular cast of the TV series, which in itself you'd think will make you feel comfortable. I know what you mean, because when they come on screen, oh yeah, all right, okay, all right, and I'm at ease now with that.
I think there is a familiarity to it, and that's going to appeal to a lot of people.
Okay, Downton Abbey. Let's move on. Night Hunter. I don't know much about this.
Night Hunter is a thriller starring Henry Cavill, the former Superman, as a detective who must join forces with a vigilante played by Ben Kingsley to catch a murderer.
If a lion eats someone and you lock it up and you say, don't do that again, and 10 years later you let it out, what happens?
Not all criminals are animals.
I'm talking about the endless voice in a predator's head that says, do it, do it, do it.
Okay, do it.
Okay.
All right, fine. All right, I'll try not to, but yeah. Any good?
No, I didn't enjoy this. I really like Henry Cavill. I liked him as Superman. I like him in a lot of his other movies. I think he was enormously dull. He plays a character who is quite sort of strong and silent. The problem with that is if you are really strong and silent on screen, you don't really say anything. So we don't sort of see him glaring at people, and I get the sense that this was a role sort of written for an older man, and he's about 3 times the size of someone like Ben Kingsley. So it's just this giant human with regular sized people, and he just looks a little bit out. I think he's a little bit miscast. Ben Kingsley is always good value, but this goes after the kind of, if you've seen Seven or Silence of the Lambs, that sort of grim, a little bit nasty murder thriller, but there's too much going on. It's too disjointed, and it's a bit of a shame, really, considering the cast.
Okay, but good advice there. If you were sort of a bit half and half about whether to go and see that one or not, you always try and pick up something for us to watch at home over the weekend. What's your home entertainment pick for the weekend?
It is Keanu Reeves in John Wick 3 Parabellum, which sees John Wick return and now fighting his way through New York with a $14 million bounty on his head.
Mr. Wick broke the rules. I trust you understand the repercussions if he survives.
John Wick, excommunicado, is now in effect.
Do we need a John Wick 3?
I think it's a bit like Downton Abbey, isn't it? Is you just bring him back and see it happen all over again. And I was very amused by the audio from that trailer of just the hoo, and it's him punching a lot of people and shooting at people in very elaborate ways. As I said, 3 films in, if you're going to see John Wick 3 as your first time seeing John Wick, that's kind of on you, to be honest. Right? It's a bit like the Avengers. If this far in you've chosen this point to jump in, I'm not sure if that's for you. But for fans of the first 2, I like it. I like Keanu Reeves. I like this sort of renaissance he's had a little bit. He kind of
you're right.
dips for a while, then comes back with something that's hugely successful. Not incredibly intelligent, but a good action movie.
Good stuff. James, good to see you as ever. Thanks very much indeed. James Luxford, and read his reviews in the Metro newspaper and Radio Times magazine, of course.
BBC, Coventry and Warwickshire Travel.